Hey everybody, welcome back. Quick video tonight. Wasn't live for this, so wanted to put some thoughts out real quickly about the Hero Rises 2026 results. Not final, mind you, just the top 20 is what we're going to look at here right now. Top 8 going into a voting gauntlet. I think there's probably going to be like a losers banner up into like the top 16 or something. I don't know. I think even if it was like 9 through 12 for another like losers banner, I, let's be honest, would they would they not find another reason to like just make more banners to put out anyway? It could be like the top 20 Hero Rises. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. They don't need an excuse to add more characters to a banner, as we've learned recently. But the top 8 are going to be in a voting gauntlet and a banner, essentially. But the winner will be free. That will come to us for free. So we're not going to get a free legendary Black Knight because he's 13, right? Only top 8. So either a Freya, a Corrin, Emblem Corrin, a Tuned Ryoma, Balder, New Year Balder, Legendary Elise, Harmonized, Brave, Ike, Emblem Edelgard, and Emblem Byleth. If you've been to the live streams, you probably know this already, but I had a pretty good assumption that this would be our top 8. In fact, this is likely what I would have picked for a top 8. The only difference, I think, being probably swapping Ryoma for Alpha Thor. Because, I mean, he's going to be on banners all the time. He's not. But, you know, other than that, like, when they even released the interim numbers or characters, rather, not numbers because they were alphabetical, but at least who was, you know, leading at that point, the whole list for the most part was like pretty legit. There have been some questionable years where there would be like a base or standard pool Edelgard in the mix for whatever reason. There would be like, I think there was one year there was a really underpowered special hero, but it was just a popular character, and so they made it in anyway. We don't really have to worry about that now. I think the game has become so spread out in terms of character pool and very limited on the control of skill creep. So ultimately, I would argue that it's harder now to weed out a top 20 situation for best unit in the game versus trying to include the best unit in the game because there's just too many options at this point. And so, you know, I felt pretty confident going in even before we had interim results out that it was likely going to be a pretty good pool because it would be harder to mess it up and have it be a weaker one, unless memes, you know. But that didn't happen this year, obviously, because Edelgard fans, you finally had one worth putting up here. She came out just in time too, so she's obviously eligible. But Emblem Edelgard is legitimately like the Edelgard to try and get in a situation like this. So it's not a fallen Edelgard situation like we've had in previous years. Um, a lot of these are just newer additions. But it legitimately is my top 8, with the exception of like Alpha Thor over Ryoma. I also think I probably no, there's one in here that I didn't have. Maybe Elise. I don't know. Legendary Black Knight's also a really good inclusion, but I think ultimately this makes sense, and this will be good. Who should you get for free? I think it's pretty hard to argue against anything that's not like Emblem Byleth or New Year Duo Balder. I feel like those are probably top tier picks, as well as like probably harmonized Brave Ike as well. Um, but it really just comes down to preference. Like, even in this list, as underwhelming as I think Attuned Ryoma is for being what he is, or just not being Halloween Freya and the incredible bulk that she provides, I think whatever you get here is going to be good. So it doesn't really matter ultimately. Plus, voting gauntlets are just are terrible in terms of like actually trying to accomplish something in them without the bonus multipliers and all that. But I don't think they had bonus multipliers for this. Anyway, it'll be a lot to keep track of. At some point, I'm probably going to look at the full list of Hero Rises when it comes out, likely on stream. So we'll take a look at that there. But I just wanted to briefly go through the top 20 here. Say that I'm genuinely not that surprised. The Sharena is interesting. I think any of the accessory heroes that you get accessory items from, like ascended florets, iridescence, stuff like that. The bouquets, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. The majority of them I probably wouldn't have put in here. In terms of like limited heroes, I think Attuned and Rearmed are still by far more beneficial than anything that comes with a little trinket. Um, so the ninth place Sharena is a little curious, but good to see that Freya beat her out. And because God, anytime I run into one of these in arena, I question all of my life choices. But anyway, those are just some thoughts I had on the top 20 there. Feel free to subscribe to this new channel if you want. This is where I'm just putting some extra face stuff. And it will only ever be heroes versus my main channel, which is kind of a mix of a lot of things. So if you just want a little extra shot of heroes in your day, you can subscribe over here. Follow the journey. But that's it. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.